Welcome back. The New Life Center has been meeting needs and transforming lives through the love of Christ since 1907. They help people who are homeless, hurting, go from merely surviving to truly thriving. So with us today, the executive director, Rob, and also the guest speaker for tonight's events that's upcoming actually tonight, Ron Hall. He's a great author, got a movie made about his book, so fantastic story. So to both of you, thanks so much for being here. We really, really appreciate it.
Thanks.
So for people that aren't familiar with New Life Center, just kind of give us the synopsis, please.
Yeah, 30,000-foot view. We are a rescue mission that provides shelter, food, and clothing to those in need, but we also have different programs aimed at helping folks who are in need get back on their feet. So we want to not just provide some of those basics, but help them to be in a better place when they leave and hopefully ultimately get into and have their own housing.
So you've got Mr. Hall here, who is an author of a couple of incredible books. He just mentioned to me about how one of them has been made into a movie. Mm-hmm. You've raised $107 million to help homeless across America. How did you guys end up connecting, and what made you say, yes, I want to be a part of this?
Well, I don't know. Maybe Rob can tell you that, but we met through the Association of Gospel Rescue Missions, also known as Citygate, and I have been kind of an unofficial spokesperson for homelessness across America. You know, most people look at the homeless as a problem, but my homeless friend that we wrote the book and the story about told me that God looks at the homeless as an opportunity for the faithful to show the love of Christ. So this is what we've spread a message. We want people to begin to look at homelessness the way God sees them and not the way that the world sees them. And so
help us understand that distinction, because I think that's very powerful, and I think even Scripture says, hey, you never know what angel you might come across, right, or essentially, right? So what's the distinction for you in that versus the way God sees them versus the way society sees them?
Well, like I said, society sees them as a problem. But, I mean, these are people that are created by God just like us, and apart from maybe missing one paycheck, we would be in the same situation. And people think that homelessness, there is a lot of mental illness out there, but I can tell you that if you became homeless and after about a month you would become a little bit mentally ill too. It'll drive you crazy, homelessness. My friend Denver said, you know, hunger will drive a man to work that ain't even got a car.
So what was the greatest lesson you learned from, tell us about your relationship with this homeless man, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, I learned that you never know who eyes God is watching you out of. And it's not going to be your preacher or your Sunday school teacher. It might be a fellow that's standing on the street, and God's using that person to check you out to see what kind of person you really are.
So what would he say about you?
What did he say about me? He said, keep up the good work.
God bless you. So what's your mission now with the money you're raising? I mean, you hear just pervasive conversation about what's happening in California with homelessness. Yeah. We've got homeless vets. I mean, people that have put their lives on the line for our country and they don't have a place to live. So how do we, and I guess what I'm hearing you say is they don't choose to be homeless, but we need to change the way we see them. So how do we help solve the problem?
Well,
maybe that's not even the right word. I apologize for using the word problem.
No, this is not a government issue. It is a faith-based, excuse me, it's a faith-based issue. And my homeless friend Denver, who was homeless for more than 26 years on the streets of Fort Worth, he's a man who did not have any skills, reading, writing, or anything else. He was mentally challenged. But, you know, because of my dream that my late wife, Debbie, had, we were able to, I guess, to bless the hell out of him, is what he said. And
that's what he said.
That's what he said. And, but he said that if every church in America takes in one homeless person, the problem is solved.
Wow.
Because there are more churches than there are homeless people.
That's a powerful way to express it. So talk about your event tonight that he's going to be speaking at and how people can be a part of it.
Yeah, you bet. So we are super excited. This is actually the second time Ron has been back. 2 years ago, he told part of his story, and tonight hopefully we're going to hear a little bit more. We're going to be meeting at the Delta Marriott over just west of the mall. And we have a silent auction that starts at 5 p.m. The social for Ron's presentation, the social actually starts at 6:30 with the program starting at 7, and folks can buy tickets at the door.
Great stuff. How much are tickets?
Tickets are $40 a piece. And I will say we have had an incredible response. We're pushing 750 people, so if folks do want to come, please get there early because I'm confident it's going to sell out.
Great stuff. And Ron, if people want to buy your book, how do they get your book?
Oh, I hope anywhere. But of course, bookstores. It was a #1 New York Times bestseller.
Congratulations.
And stayed on the list for 3.5 years. So it's called Same Kind of Different as Me, and then the follow-up book that tells the rest of the story of the 10 years that the homeless man lived with me, and he and I built a life together. So that's called Working Our Way Home.
Fantastic. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks
Nice
for
to
doing.
meet you, Chris.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here. All right, stick around. We got much more coming up right after this.